Holy Gospel according to Luke. While the crowd was pressing in on Jesus and listening to the word of God, he was standing by the lake of Gennesaret. He saw two boats there alongside the lake. The fishermen had disembarked and were washing their nets. Getting into one of the boats, the one belonging to Simon, he asked him to put out a short distance from the shore. Then he sat down and taught the crowds from the boat. After he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, "Put out into deep water and lower your nets for the catch." Simon said in reply, "Master, we have worked hard all night and have caught nothing, but at your command I will lower the nets." When they had done this, they caught a great number of fish, and their nets were tearing. They signaled to their partners in the other boat to come to help them. They came and filled both boats, so that the boats were in danger of sinking. When Simon Peter saw this, he fell at the knees of Jesus and said, "Depart from me, Lord, for I am a sinful man." For astonishment at the catch of fish they had made seized him, for all those with him, and likewise James and John, the sons of Zebedee, who were partners of Simon. Jesus said to them, "Do not be afraid. From now on you will be catching men." When they were brought their boats to the shore, they left everything and followed him. The Gospel of the Lord. Hello everybody, I'm Deacon Danny. I'm a permanent deacon here at St. Margaret's Church and at St. Margaret at the Mission. And I'm today joined by my lovely wife and partner in crime for the past 26 years, my wife Liz. The reading I want to share with you guys in this minute about my vocation to the diaconate and about how the diaconate has impacted our marriage life as a sacrament, as a vocation, how these two have come together, which has been wonderful. The reason why I chose the reading from the fifth Sunday in Ordinary Time about the calling of Simon as fishers of men and link it to my vocation, it was because of two things that I noticed on this reading, that it was about the boats. We can see how Jesus first see Peter and tell him, "Hey Peter, you're here in the shore, could you push your boat a little bit away from the shore?" And then he tells Peter later on, "Let's move deeper." And that actually has been kind of my vocation to my life. Where before I was comfortable kind of on the shore, enjoying life, have a good job, we were starting a family, it was my comfort zone. I was really comfortable with everything that was going on, but without realizing that God has been placing His call in my life for quite some time. Then when we became parents, that's when I think God told me, "Hey Danny, let's move a little bit away from the shore now." And we went a little bit into deeper waters, right? So that was my life. Started getting a little bit deeper, a little bit into the discomfort zone for my taste, about experimenting my faith, but it was because God put my kid in our lives, in our marriage. And that's how we started moving a little bit deeper. And God was still calling me to something more, but I was always like hesitant, like Simon was saying on the gospel, like, "No, I don't want to cast my nets there. I've been doing this for so long, I'm tired. There's nothing for me in that deep end." But somehow God's calling kept something in my heart that it was like, it's not satisfied, but I'm afraid, until He called me deeper, to a deeper level in my faith. And it was not until my kids, again, he's using my kids, were not into their teenage years, right? That I got deeper into my faith through youth minister, because I was trying to help my kids grow a little bit more. But there was still something missing. There was still something missing. And I was like, I don't want to throw my net yet on the water, but yeah, he kept telling me, come on, Danny, I've been calling you. You can't be this dumb. I've been calling you. But it was the youth ministry at St. Francis de Sales at that time when actually God made me realize I need to do something. It was through my kids. When my kids actually turn around and tell me, you know what, Daddy, you're just kind of a hypocrite. I was like, whoa, wait a second. I'm your father. You're calling me a hypocrite. What's going on? And it was because my kid told me, you're always telling me to do God's will, and God's been calling you and you're not doing it. And that hit home for me. And then God, the same way it happened on the gospel, that they send the fishermen from other boats to help with this mission, God has put a lot of people in my life. Of course, He puts you in my life from the beginning, but He has put like a lot of youth ministers, a lot of great people in my life. And the answer came to me, God, is this what you want me to do, the diaconate? The answer was put to me with the young church, with His young people. And I remember being at St. Francis one day talking to this bunch of kids, and I told these kids, hey guys, I need you to pray for me because I'm gonna give the diaconate a shot. So I need you to pray for me because I don't know if this is what God truly wants, even though I've been telling God, God, if this is what you want me to do, I need you to be clear with me, because this thing with the parables don't work with me, hidden messages, you gotta be a straight shooter. And after I told these kids this, and you're laughing because you know what's coming next, these kids basically, I'm in the center of the circle and they're behind me, and after I tell this to the kids, guys, I need you to pray for me because I'm trying to see if the Lord is calling me to a diaconate. There was a voice on the back from one of the kids that he said, it's about time, Mr. Danny, that you answered the call. It was about time. And it was the softest voice that I could ever heard in my life. And it stayed with me. And I remember on my first Mass after I got ordained, with the help of a lot of people that the Lord put in my life, that I was preaching this. And all these kids that were with me that night when I heard that voice, I mentioned it. And what is amazing is that not a single one of them recall saying those words. Yeah, the Lord is going to call you to deeper waters, and He's going to call you and He's going to put you out of your comfort zone, and you're going to be scared. But don't let fear hold you back. I was letting fear always hold me back. But with when God's will is to be done, just like Mary, she did it scared, that the apostles did it scared, I too answer His call, being scared and afraid, because He will help me through just the same way that He helped Simon Peter to cast the net and bring fruits to his vineyard. So that's my story of vocation. That's the story of how I started from being over here, just on the shore, to go to the deep level of water, and I continue going deeper and deeper and deeper. Okay, now how marriage and the diaconate interlace with each other, right? Mm-hmm. How one has affected the other. It has been, since I have became a deacon, it has been really, really interesting, right? When we get married, we always had that faith. We always have God as the center. But once I became a deacon, it was like the whole entire family, even my kids, which my youngest one said, well, Daddy, if you become a deacon, does that mean we need to be more religious? I said, well, not necessarily. We just need to be more aware of things. But that's what has happened. We have become, as a family, more aware of the presence of God in our lives. We're more present to each other because we're aware that God is present in our lives even more and more and more every single day. To the point that this presence has been so great and wonderful and such a blessing in our lives that our youngest daughter, the one that was asking me about, Daddy, do I need to become more religious? She's now away in college in Tampa. And she actually called me on her first weekend to tell me when she was away to college, hey, Daddy, I went to Mass today. And I was like, whoa, what? Yes, Daddy, I went to Mass because I needed to be in His presence. That blew me away. So the diaconate, basically what it did on our family was to make us more aware of that presence of God in our lives. And with that presence, as a family, that love grew even more. And as a couple, I think it made our love grow even stronger. It has united us even more to the point that it's kind of a little bit scary, isn't it? Sometimes I'm uncomfortable because we know each other's thoughts, but it's because we're more aware of His presence in our lives and in our marriage and in our family life. So I invite you, if you have any questions about the diaconate, permanent diaconate, reach out to me. And wives, if you have any questions about how the diaconate has impacted the family life, can they reach out to you? So they reach out to Liz. Trust me, it is a great blessing. Has been such a blessing that I've been questioning why did it take me so long to answer. But it's not on my time, it's on God's time. So I hope you consider this diaconate vocation, men out there and wives also. Be open to the idea because it is a team effort to do it. So God bless you. Hope you have a great day. And again, reach out if you have any questions. Okay? Bye.